TV for the fans, by the fans, damn it. Mitchie had a good time with Bogert last night. Maybe too good of a time. How's that feel?
Ready would be laughing. It's absurd, but let's go!
We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league.
One big piece of things today that's missing, I think, is our girl Heidi. First and foremost, shout out to Heidi, the matriarch of certainly Southbound and Crown, but in my opinion, Charlotte FC.
Yes, I agree.
So had a nice moment in the stadium for her.
That's right.
Picture up there, which is the least we can do.
Great picture.
I think she had a little something to do with the 2-0 win today, right?
Of course you did.
She's enjoying that.
Just here.
Yeah. No, she didn't fall over any stairs. No helmet required.
Bronico. That man.
Come in on this. I want to come on this because I was the one saying bring Bronico into the game as a starter. The mayor, we needed it, and he brought it.
A gorilla bear.
Want to push up? And what you really think about the game? You think the game was a good game, like first half?
For the fans, by the fans.
I don't know it.
Finish it off.
I don't know it.
Damn it!
Damn it! San Diego, Ego Malego, go find Diego. Charlotte gonna win the motherfucking MLS Cup. And that's what my word.
I don't know what caused that besides maybe the rain.
The rain.
And
Feels like a song.
We broke our 13 record streak
we did.
at the bank.
You know
We
what?
broke our 13
I think-
record
I
streak.
think it's
We didn't break it. Minnesota did.
I think it's because Taylor Swift just released an album and
No.
let's-
No Swifty on this. Cut this. Hey, right
lucky
here,
number
JT.
is
We're cutting
13,
it.
so we had to stop it at 13.
It is the 13 because Taylor stopped it at 13.
All right, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, kill the. Yeah.
Kill the women?
No.
It
Swift.
is.
I did not say that. You know what's going on? You know what's going down? You know what's going down? All right.
Yes, we won. Let's go. CLT FC Fan TV for the fans, by the fans. Damn it. I'm JT. That's Lee. And tonight we have a pure fan, Artem. Talk to us many times outside the East Gate on any home game. You can find us out there.
Yep.
Come talk to us. And Artem has many, many times. So thank you for joining us tonight to talk to us here live on CLTFC Fan TV.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
What's
Happy to
up,
be here.
man? Good. How's your
Yeah,
day
I'm
been?
great. Day's been long. Week is dragging. But I'm
It is
ready to talk Charlotte FC.
That's it, man. Yeah, a lot longer than what JT allows us, at least out there on the streets, right?
Yes, tired of seeing this all the time behind the camera.
People, I know you want to talk to people for a while, and I get that, and it makes perfect sense because you get great insight. But there's that fine line. It's like, especially if we get more people built up to talk and everything.
Yes, sir. We'll be
you
there
know,
all night.
You know,
We'll be there.
sooner or later we're gonna have someone to run. We'll have like ropes and everything, like going into a club, and we'll have like a camera bouncer. Truman can probably do that.
Camera bouncer. Is that a thing? What's up, Sean, man? Appreciate you tuning in, buddy.
And at the same time, they can hand out, cards and merch and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, we got merch now?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, damn. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we got tons of it.
That's it.
But here's the problem.
What's that?
It's being made in China right now.
Oh, that's
boy.
I don't know. It's like on a boat or not on a boat. I don't know what's going on.
Shit's expensive, man. It's like $500 a shirt now,
Well, that's the thing. Like part of it, one of them is a steel plate.
right?
That says CLTFC Fan TV. It's like this, but it's made of steel. So we won't see that anytime soon.
And I'm sure it's worth the wait.
That's worth the wait. Yeah. Well, let's talk about Charlotte FC, man. Man, what y'all think about the game this weekend? Artem, go ahead, man. You can kick it off.
What do we think? I mean, again, it's tough to say because at this point, I think a lot of people go to Toronto expecting a win. That's kind of what I expected going in there. But a couple of players showed out again. Zaha playing well, distributing, and I think all around it was a pretty good performance. Surprised not to see Kalina in goal, but I think at this time a lot of us were kind of expecting it.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of talk, right? I mean, there's been some folks that post like, Top Bin and all them, Caleb, Vaughn and all them have been throwing up some stats. And, we touched on this last week. Did we have a show last week, JT? I forget. We've been pretty slack.
No, because you were too busy being a father or something.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yes, I remember now. But yeah, I mean, obviously Kalina wasn't going to have the same sort of season he had last year, right? And and if he did, it would have been great for Charlotte. But, like Dino, his comments were, he's had the new baby. I believe he moved to a new house. There's just been a lot of off the field stuff going on as well in his life. So it's just kind of maybe like a breather,
And I'd like to make a point on that because I remember last time we had Jorge on here, old Top Ben himself, and it was another player maybe getting married. No, we might have been bringing up cleanup. But the idea was that no. These are professional athletes. Doesn't matter what's going on off the pitch. That shit don't matter. And I'm like, dude, I mean, whatever. It's his second kid. I don't know what's going on or whatever. But hey, that shit can matter. That's all I'm saying.
that
Yeah,
shit.
definitely changes you.
Hey, and that was coming from Jorge. He ain't got no wife, ain't got no kids, living in a high rise, trying to tell us down here on the ground.
That's right. But yeah, I mean, so that's why he was benched. I mean, did Bingham cover well? I thought he had a couple of good saves. There were some questionable decisions too. So as the question becomes like, who starts? Well, we don't have a game this weekend, right? It'll be against Philly on the 14th.
Yeah.
Do you throw Kalina back in and see if he's sort of ready for it, or do you keep going with the shakeup? A shakeup was needed, right? Because we're just terrible on the road.
Yeah, agreed. A shakeup was needed. Does Kalina come back in? I mean, I guess I'd have to see them train. If I'm Dean, I'd probably try to get another clean sheet with Bingham.
Yeah, at least buy him some wine.
Let it ride. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you should say that because my list, I thought about it earlier. It's like when Kalina got benched, obviously no player wants to get benched, but maybe he understood. If we're going along this idea that, all this outside the team stress, but still, he don't want to get benched. And once he got benched, I wonder if when he got back home the next day or whatever later that night from Toronto, if he looked at the wines or still has the wines that he's gotten for the clean sheets, and then he's like, man, fuck wine. I ain't drinking no wine. Maybe he got really mad and smashed the bottle for being frustrated because he didn't start. I'm just trying to empathize with the guy.
Yeah.
He comes home And he sees these representations of not only starting, but starting and having a clean sheet.
Kalina sheet.
Kalina sheet.
But
I
there's no
was wondering what his relationship was with the wine that he had earned, if it was still there and physically somewhere he could see it after the game on the next couple of days. I wonder how he's feeling about the wine.
I don't know. It could still be in the box on the move. Who knows?
Yeah, that's right. That's it. It's not even out yet. Man, moving sucks too. Moving's the worst.
Oh yeah.
It's the worst.
Oh my God, especially not. Oh, it's hot summertime. But what I liked about the move with Kalina, I thought it was right. Number one, and something needed to be shooken up. And I did think Bingham, and just looking at it, because they always say, "Oh, Kalina, concrete feet or whatever." Bingham did look faster on his feet. Whatever, just twitchier or whatever.
Yeah, I thought his distribution was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I just, it was like a refreshing out of the backfield. And I think he should stay with him. If he continues to get clean sheets, not Kalina sheets, I say ride it. And I love that Dean sent the message, which I think they would already know. No one's safe. It doesn't matter. No one, even Zaha. It's like, no. And that's the great thing about the MLS too. It's like, listen, this is whatever kind of middle level league in the world. Some people are coming to retire. Some people are trying to get up to go. It's like, hey, this is a mix and bowl. Anyone can be a starter, and the next week you can't. So you better be on your P's and Q's.
I agree, 100%. Yeah, you definitely want that competition in every position. So it's good that we have Bingham to come in and step up. But I mean, at the end of the day, who can have the better day? I think it is Kalina. But yeah, like I don't remember. I just saw somebody comment about him needing a break, and I agree with that as well. He definitely just needed a break. He's got a lot going on. Results haven't been going his way. Sometimes, yeah, you do just need to step back, go home, look at those bottles of wine, and maybe break one, maybe drink one. Just look at yourself at the end of the day, and try to come up with the next best result.
Yeah, I mean, that's all fair points. I mean, regardless, I mean, we got the result is what we needed as a team, right? That's 3 points on the road. That's huge for us, even though it was against Toronto. But 3 points is 3 points. I thought personally that was probably one of the better games I've seen us play. Again, I don't know what that says with the, the teams we were playing against, right? Toronto we were playing against is not one of the better teams in the league, but for us to have sort of a complete game, in my opinion, it was good to see. So hopefully, hopefully it just sucks in my right that we have a week off now after, and we can't carry that momentum, right? So now we got to sort of remember that game 2 weeks ago when we play Philly, who happen to be top of the East right now.
Yeah, very good Philly squad in Philly. So that's going to be a battle.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be a battle for sure. But I believe we
maybe
last year and beat them.
Maybe we flip the script. We haven't been known for winning away at all. I don't want to flip it that we always lose at home. I don't want that.
That's our history, man. Our history.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We won again in Toronto. Wasn't there one of their best players out too?
Yeah, there was a couple of players out.
Like an Italian dude who.
Yeah, Bernadeschi, I don't think was there. Yeah.
So, but nonetheless, let's flip the script because we got all these away games coming up. After the break, these crazy breaks. Let's win away all the time. I looked at the table earlier today, and I was like, it is weird that we in 8th place. We're 8-1, and almost all the other teams have all the other teams have 4+ draws. We only have 1 draw, and we're exactly 50-50. It's like we're truly right in the middle of the season, right on the fence in the whatever way. But
I think we're only 3 or 4 points too out of like 5th or 4th or 5th, I think. So
yeah, it's all jumbled up. But hey,
it's pretty congested. Yeah.
Screw this shit, man. Let's go up to Philly. Let's crack that bell even more, and let's come back home, man.
Yeah, 100%. For sure. No, that's 100%. Yes. So we're sort of I don't want to say on the Bingham bandwagon right now. We're more on the Kalina rest wagon.
We're on the win wagon.
Win. That's right.
Shit less because y'all used to say that to me, and that's something I've been getting used to. Because I'm not the newbie fan anymore, but it seems like in soccer, especially with the international team breaks, players are gone all the time, and people are subbed in literally from week to week, and then the yellow cards that people can't play or red card, whatever. The next game, to me, it's like I don't give a shit. I love the competition. Just now, put whoever will win. Like I want to see Smalls back up in there. Let's just win. Just win, baby.
You never know when you're going to have your moment. You just got to be ready to take it.
Yeah, like
and you can say that about our outside backs right now too, Scardina and Ruddy. Both young, both come in, and I don't think they've had too many like bad games. Maybe some decision making that comes with a lack of experience. But yeah, like you said, I agree. You just got to be ready. Doesn't matter. Got to go win.
Well, I mean, Scardini did he play at all this weekend? I can't remember him being subbed in or not, but I think there was only one change in the back for a sub, and that's when Ream came in, I believe, right? You know, it's again, I mean, you know, the back line, there's been questions about like, why are we having so many shots on goal, right? And then obviously comparing to last season, it was like, you know, a lot of some of the goals that we leaked, Kalina would have saved them last year. So it sort of made maybe the back line look better, but it's also, you know, I think Dean is trying to play sort of a different game than he did last season, right? Last year we were more like compact, and this year we seem to be like more trying to be like a transition team, right? So go ahead, have you say, man.
No, I do remember, especially against Toronto. I think it was Malanda was playing a lot of the balls out of the back. I think Privet may have played a couple directly through the midfield, and they definitely seemed to work. Did Kalina really help our defenders that much last year? I mean, yeah, he made a crap ton of saves, so that's a huge part of our clean sheet record. And I can recall a few pretty big examples of Malanda in particular making a lot of mistakes in the back, whether it wasn't going to challenge the ball early enough and literally just letting who do we play before? I think it might have been Chicago. I can't remember who it was, but literally letting the ball bounce in your box and letting the opposite team have a shot. That's going to come with some goals. So it's a little bit of both. I definitely want Kalina to do well. Definitely need our defenders to help him out. And we haven't been getting a whole lot of that.
Why do y'all think, let me see, where is it so I can mark it off? Why do you think we came out so hot in this Toronto game? I mean, do you think it was Dean switching things up and lighting, or them not being as good or whatever? But I mean, honestly, it should have been like 4-0. And I know Dean said something to this effect, like we should have scored more, especially that first half.
Saying that much.
I mean, we are. I don't know what our possession was, but tons of possession in their third.
Yeah,
I think at least Toronto is sort of like us, right? We're not really a possession-based team where like that really matters in our stats, and so, but we sort of took that over, right, and ran with it. But you know, right. So we had some new player. We had you know, Abada, him and Vargas have been battling, right? I think Abada came out and had a really good game. You know, again, it goes back to that competition thing. It's like making the players step up, right? You know, it helped that Zaha had a really good game. I mean, I think Ajiman had a really good game, right? And I've been questioning him all season. I thought he had a solid game. Zaha, I'm glad to see that, you know, like we all see it, Zaha, and I think Zaha's finally started to realize, like, look, I'm going to get fouled, right? And instead of just bitching at the ref, he just kind of got on with it. You know, there was almost that fight that broke out, but I kind of expect that, right? Because, you know, Toronto's losing and blah, 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 blah. There's a little kick out there towards the end. But, yeah, I mean, the competition in the places now, Dean's like, instead of just having that competition, what it looks like to me, at least in practice, we're sort of allowing that to happen on the pitch as well, which is, you know, and, yeah, like Coach says, man, it's confidence. We had some confidence last week, right? I mean, we could have easily run away with that game 4-0, but I mean, there was still some squeaky times though where they could have nicked one right against the run of play, because that first half we dominated.
That's what I'm saying. How did you know? How did we get the confidence, Coach? How did we? Did Dean, besides you know sitting Kalina? Was there anything special done, or was it like, hey, man, we've lost, you know, what, 4 in a row at that point? 5 in a row with the draw or whatever it was. But, man, it's like, holy shit, this is a winnable game. The Italian dude's not starting. I just would really love to know, you know, what Dean said in before the game. And they just came out blazing, and it was so refreshing to see.
Yeah, and to that, honestly, it might not even have been Dean. The team can build that confidence in each other. So that's a lot of locker room stuff. On top of that, you find your confidence on the training pitch. If you're performing well in training, you get that vote of confidence from your captain, from Willie Zaha, who's trying to push us along. You're gonna feel that. You're gonna play for that. So that's kind of where that confidence comes from too.
Yeah, I mean the bigger names or the bigger players, stars, if you will, they sort of stepped up. It was a great squad sort of show, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Pep's doing Pep stuff. You know, Zaha, man, he, you know, some of the passes he was making, and there's actually I believe a Snapchat of Zaha. Apparently he had a pair of knockoff Nike boots on or something he wasn't aware of.
I saw something about that today. Yeah.
Man, if those are the boots that makes you make those passes and those runs for us, like I want you to keep.
Hold on. You're saying the boots / cleats he was wearing in the game were not official Nike ones?
Well, so apparently he bought them. I don't know. He got them from somebody, right? A friend into contact or something, right? And somebody called him out on it. I don't know if they're legit or not, right? And you know, like he said, like if all you're worried about is my boots or my cleats, right? Then you know the rest of the world must be doing okay. But yeah, so it's pretty funny. But again, if just keep wearing those damn boots, Zaha, that'd be great. You know, we'll take that all day. But yeah, I mean, I think the whole team, right? Abada, I mean, Vargas has stepped up this year, right? So that's good competition. Pat, I thought I think this game that Pat had was probably one of the better games I've seen Pat play.
Yeah, I want to put not overall, but I had a question on here about, you know, Agyemang and the idea being, you know, if he hadn't scored that goal at the very end, would you still say that? He had opportunities and stuff and everything, and he did to you know, the way he juked the guy and the Zaha pass right at the end, and then just perfectly did that little, whatever you'd call it, 3-foot lob over the goalie or by the goalie. If he hadn't done that, would you say that he had a great game? He was in the right position all the time, whatever, but even if he didn't score, because I really do feel like by him scoring at the end in such a great way, that kind of sugarcoats him not scoring earlier. But tell me about it. What did you see from him, even if he didn't score earlier?
I just think it takes a little bit of weight off of his shoulders because it's been a slow start to the season for him. He's another one of those players, like you mentioned earlier, where we have like our expectations for him are higher now because he performed so well last season. He was almost Mr. Dependable for us off the bench. But now there's a little bit of that extra pressure where like we expect him to start games, and now we expect him to score every game. And it just hasn't been like that. So this is another one of those fine examples where we hope that he can carry the confidence into the next run of results. And I know he's supposedly playing with the U.S. Men's national team, so that's another boost of confidence that he can hopefully grab onto. But what I have said, he had a great game if he didn't score. It's tough with strikers because some people think that's the only thing that has them, like that shows them having a good game, is scoring a goal. I'm not one of those people. I think a striker in particular can definitely help get your team forward and doesn't necessarily have to score every game to have a good game. And I think Patrick in this is a perfect example of that, especially against Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of points there. I mean, I'm a firm believer, first job for a striker to score a goal, right? But with that being said, like you said, I will say the last week or two, I've noticed that Pat's hold-up play has been a lot better. His first touch has sort of been a little better too. Before it had been very heavy and, you know, he would have to fight for it. But, I mean, I think he's hold-up and just bringing those other players in instead. He's not overthinking. He's just playing the game, right? And before I felt like he was overthinking what to do next with the ball or whatever. And every time he thought about it, it was the play had gone, right? He's a lot quicker. And I don't know if that's because Zaha's sort of like always in his ear.
That's the point I wanted to make, is that I really feel like he and Zaha, whatever, Zaha is finding his place over on the wing and, you know, penetrate or not, and he's making such great passes, you know, almost from the midfield and whatever. But he seems like, and to your point of not getting upset about the refs, he seems like he's really settling in. And with him being the biggest star on the team, that's allowing Agyemang not to have as much pressure as he has now, you know, from being elevated, especially to the national team. And they're working better together. And that seemed to come out. This game was refreshing. I mean, obviously it's all about the win, but it was just refreshing in so many ways to see things work. You know, it was like, oh, that worked. And to have Bronico back, you know, we're big Bronico fans. and him and Westy, and it was just like, oh, things are clicking. This is because we were spoiled maybe at the beginning of the season, which was great, but we it's like, all right, this is what it looks like to when it comes together like it's supposed to. And that
when it works, it works.
Yeah, 100%. When it works, it works. Yeah, I mean, it was, right? And again, not to knock Toronto. I mean, they're not one of the tougher sort of teams in the league, right? And, maybe we just need to play in Canada all our away games.
Can we say, because Lee is patented and for the Charlotte's going to Charlotte, which is kind of derogatory, truly. So we're going to just say when it works, it works. Either Charlotte's going to Charlotte or when it works, it works. Those are the polar opposites.
Yeah. I mean, Charlotte's going to Charlotte can work either way, right? When we're not expected to win and we win. But yeah, if it works, it works. But, I thought it was a great game. It's good to see Bronico back. That man's he's got an engine on him, man. Like, he does nothing but run. Ashley stepped up. I think his game's starting to come up now. He's starting to get more involved. I mean, overall, I just think it was a solid performance all around, right? So, I mean, kudos to the team. And then, hopefully we can continue this nasty away schedule we got, right, coming up.
Yeah, and there's a couple of big opponents on the next away schedule. I think it's Philly, Kansas, and then
Chicago,
who smashed us at home. So hopefully we come with a little bit of revenge there.
I'm going to Chicago for that game. So hopefully,
nice.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Yeah, like summertime. Obviously, people travel more. I know you're going to Chicago. Anyone out there? Anyone else? Are y'all going to any games? It's so stupid that I have not traveled to a game yet as a season ticket holder.
Yeah, I might go down to the Atlanta game too. I'd be curious to see if they're going to do the buses again this year. It's just the team.
I saw someone asking about that on Facebook.
The folks off, the folks that run the business side of it, right? They just haven't seemed to be as seen as much as last year or the years before, right? And I don't know if that's because we had Sean, right? But
conduit.
Yeah, but even then, you would see other people walking around, and I just don't see it anymore. So I don't know.
That's an interesting point. I'm gonna, because walking around with the media pass and being able to hang out, having a season ticket as well, whatever. I got that hybrid position. I need to next home game a while from now. I need to ask some of them and I need to do a little investigating.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know who the president is. I don't know her name. It's just, I don't know. It's just
DT hasn't been around for a while. I mean, he's laid low, which, part with the Panthers and stuff. He's like, I'm just going to take a back seat, but I haven't seen him anywhere. And like you said, you don't know.
Nick Kelly was here, man. It was like everybody was out, right? You could see him coming to the tailgates. You see him do all that. I mean, we saw Teppel once this year come to the tailgate, but that's about it. I haven't seen anybody else from the club out there, and it's I don't know.
I like this. I like this little nugget.
Yeah,
Lord, live at 28:50. I got to remember this. All right, I'm gonna do a little gumshoeing.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, so again, right? If we can have that same sort of performance against Philly, I think it'll be a good game. We're not really a pushover team. We're
a confidence team. We're a confidence team.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. Especially if we want to build out of the back like we have been doing.
Yeah.
If you want to say Charlotte's going to Charlotte, I think it starts by building out of the back.
Yeah. But I will say, though, when we start going direct sometimes, though, I think that opens up our game and that allows us to play out the back. So it's good to see that we're not just stuck and shoehorned into possession at the back, right? Like everybody else. If we can direct, and that's why it goes back to where, with Pat being a better hold-up striker, right? I mean, he's done pretty well, I think, in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I'll give him more credit for that. And, which then allows those wingers to run on, right? And that kind of stuff. And then, Zaha with some of those crazy passes, man. It's all around. It was good to see, man. I was really happy Saturday watching us get that win.
Yeah. You were so dejected after we did the live thing with Kenny after the away game on Saturday. Or I shouldn't say dejected. You were frustrated. You were mad. Just win. We got to win. And they did. They must have listened to you, Lee.
Gotta win. Yeah, I mean, they all tune in, man. Half
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
the Charlotte FC players.
We're really small influencers with really important people in the club. We don't have a ton of followers. We're really acute and focused in.
Yeah, and we put stuff in the suggestion box like win.
Yeah, that's right. We're the kids who actually put something folded up and put it in the box.
Yeah, it says win. All right, well, let's try it. See what happens.
Every week. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I asked that already. Bronico back in the middle. That's awesome. Hey, when do we sign Pep to the DP? When is that window open? When can we do it? And that it's pretty much happening, right? That it's a done deal. Because I feel like he is definitely a very strong part.
I think I'm not 100% sure on the contract, but we have the option to buy, right? So I think it'll just come down to money at that point between the player and him and the club.
Okay,
so I don't think the transfer window opens up. I think until I'm gonna guess on this because it changes all the time, but like towards the end of the month is what I think.
I think it starts like midsummer, like weirdly.
Yeah, and then it'll run all the way to the end of August. Well, depending on
that's the crazy thing too, man, with all the different soccer leagues around the world, football leagues. If I'm talking about the world, I gotta call it football. Around the world, and like the international breaks and the league cup breaks, and
that's why MLS needs to get their schedule with the rest of the world.
Yes.
These international breaks, but others like there is play going on, so it's not
going to happen. It's not going to happen because it's good because MLS is filling up a vacuum where Major League Baseball, which has been going down for a long time, soccer is filling that up because and once football kicks American football. Gridiron, as you would call it, once that kicks back in September, then everyone turns their attention to that. So there's a beautiful time. Well, not everyone.
Only you Americans.
You arse. Anyway, I'm just saying it's very confusing. I'm always like, it just seems like lots of shit going on for a long time that's not only dependent on what the MLS is doing in the United States / Canada. It depends on what's going on in the international breaks all across Europe. Liga. What's the French league called?
Ligue 1.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Ligue 1, like one in French.
Okay. Anyway, whatever. All the different leagues. It's just a nuts season, man. It's interesting. It makes it interesting to me, but at the same time, I'm like, what the is going on this week or next week? And
because it's like that,
what are the players going to do on their week off besides Ream, Pat, Abada, and who do we have on England's team? I saw someone in that picture that's going to play for England.
Who?
I don't, or maybe Australia had the Union Jack on it.
No, that was New Zealand.
Oh yeah, Todd. What's his last name?
Bill Tuluma or something.
Yeah, Bill Tuluma.
Oh, Bill's watching him. He's in an Uber right now, just flipping through. He accidentally hit on CLTFC Fan TV instead of CLTFC. He's a Tuluma. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. No, he's going to he's New Zealand.
Because I just saw that. I saw it on my phone from a distance, and that makes more sense.
Yeah, but I mean, right? So, I mean, we got a bye week, right? I think most of the
Tuiloma.
Yes. So, I mean, what do we? So we start the same starting 11 if we can when we play Philly. I don't know how quick the U.S. men's stuff's going to be over, right? How long that's going to drag out,
I said pick it up.
Or do you? Yeah. Or do we put Smalls in for Pat or, Iden, whatever,
Assuming everybody comes back healthy and fit, I think, you don't change much.
So you leave Ream on the bench?
Yeah, let him come in. Yeah, let him come in. He's old.
Understand that. I still don't.
He's already. Don't you feel like he's sort of been a placeholder all this time, where like he was brought in to fill the role for short period, and then now his job is to sort of help build the back off from the bench and from training.
What I struggle with, and I don't understand the logic behind this really, is like we had Euronen, and I thought he was holding it down. I thought our back line was pretty solid, right? Again, that goes back to was Kalina making us look better than what we really was, yada, yada. We can have that conversation all day, but we had Euronen, and then we brought Tim in, and then Privet was automatically dropped. Well, Privet sort of earned his spot back, right? And so we pushed Tim to the left and got rid of Euronen, and it's like, I just don't understand that team Ream, that Ream sort of why there was the need to do that. Was it just a big name, like with hopes that, with these bigger names, we down the road we can get other big names, or what, right? Or is it just shirt sales?
Great shout out, Urnan. Yeah, I thought he was a quality left back for us, and then
But
a surprise move away, I guess.
But the point you're making about a big name, and this is the point I make on this show every once in a while, is just to back out the 30,000 foot point of view, whatever. This is sports entertainment. And if you got Ream, who's on the national team and has all this international play, he's more of a draw. It's like bringing a band that was really good back in the whatever. Although they're not as good as a band that can play today, but at the same time they play the hits. I mean, it's the entertainment. It's entertainment, man.
It's like having Linkin Park perform the Champions League intro.
I don't know what that was about. But anyways, so we won't talk about it. I mean, because
yes, it's funny you said that, because I just came across the UEFA Champions whatever, and I was like, what in the hell is going on the field and everything? I said, what is this?
Super Bowl, man. They're trying to copy the Super Bowl.
Whack.
It just didn't feel right, at least to me.
I've seen so many of those major European competitions that do those sort of intros, and I still just don't think it feels right.
It doesn't hit the same as like the Super Bowl for whatever reason.
Yeah. It's like, stay in your lane. Y'all do you, we do us.
I will say, right, in America, we definitely do the show, the
circumstance.
Yeah.
That's like Rocky 2 and 3, man. When Apollo Creed's out there, coming to America, and they got all the crazy shit going on. I mean, that's what the Americans have always been known for, being boisterous and whatever and loud. That's what the Europeans always like. You're so loud. Yeah, I'm loud because I'm American, damn it.
That's it. But okay, so anything else we want to touch on about the Toronto game? Anybody out there want to touch on anything over there, just put in the comments. But for the most part, I just think it was a solid performance. Kudos to the team. Kudos to Dino for making those tough decisions, right? Because if we had lost that game, I'm sure there would have been a lot of backlash. Why do you bench Kalina, right? Blah, 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 blah. And so for us to come out and play that complete game, I thought was a good showing by the boys there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All
the only
right.
thing I'm sort of worried about, and I will say this because we brought up Brant Bronico, I think, and we talked about a lot of competition in other spots. I think the midfield, those three core midfielders, Ashley Westwood, Brant Bronico, and Pep Biel, I think that's probably the only positions on the field where we don't really have that kind of competition, if you know what I mean. Like, who you bring in off the bench that's going to replace Ashley Westwood? Nobody, because dude's played 90 minutes every single game this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a valid point, because I mean, when Bronico was out, who started? I think it was Williamson or something, right? And it just wasn't the same. We were sort of missing that we were just missing those legs, that injury that Bronico has.
And I love how Westy comes in there as the captain and as the seasoned veteran who's been around and the captain. And anytime there's any kind of chippiness going on or whatever, I don't know, because they always zoom in on, the players that are doing whatever and the referee. And then all of a sudden in the frame comes Westwood, getting in there. And he's not a big dude. He's getting in there like, what? It's like, hell yeah, man.
That's good though, right? Because the captain's supposed to be the only.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
The captains are supposed to be the only one that talks to the ref, right? So he's like trying to get over there, calm it down, right? Maybe like
right.
Yeah, but to calm it down, that's the part. He's not trying to calm shit down.
Oh, he definitely gets in there and stuck in, man. He's a good captain for sure. I just hope his performance goes up to where he was last season. I think he's been a little lack this season, in my opinion, but he still shows that he can play.
Well, I think, to your point that you just made, when he's in there with the motor, Bronico, the motor,
Yeah.
Bronico, and then Pep. You know, I think he's definitely top 3 of our best players. Being there, I think the 3 of them together, and now they got used to it. It's like when they're broken up, no bueno.
Yeah. I think Ashley Westwood is definitely better suited for that holding 6 role, where he can support our 2 center backs.
Yeah.
And he's probably one of the maybe 2 or 3 players that I would trust to ping a ball from corner to corner flag, because he does it time and time again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and to talk about Pep, right? I think he's on like MVP numbers this season, right? So,
yeah,
you know, it's good for him. Hopefully he keeps it going, man.
I was just thinking about what's being the captain, and one of my favorite giveaways of all time was the captain's armband, and it is Pride Month, so I almost had this on my cowboy hat the other day, but I didn't want anyone to try to say something easy.
You can't put it on now. You've been working out, all them guns and stuff.
Yeah, right? Hey, gun show, baby. Gun show.
Yeah.
No, I figure. All right, y'all keep on talking. I got something for it.
Yeah. So I mean, that's it. I think we kind of wrapped up the Toronto game, right? I mean, I think we agree that, you know, sort of that if it's not broken, don't fix it sort of mentality, right? But you know, I'd be curious to see what we do in that goalkeeper position, right? Because if Bingham keeps having good games, I mean, when does Kalina come back in, right? Do you upset the card again, or do you just let Kalina sit there until Bingham has a howler of a game?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, obviously, howler of a game.
Kalina is a Shard FC legend, right? I mean, in my opinion, right? I harped on him hard before. And last year, that man made me eat a lot of crow. And then he went out and got the MVP for goalkeeper of the year, right? So he's got the talent, right? But, you know, again, it's a matter of being able to keep it there and not just sort of ride on the history, right?
Yeah, it's not all physical. It's, you know, you got, you know, the mental stuff too. And the point I made earlier, I mean, when you got other shit going on in your life that's really stressful, that can affect your game. So I'm happy if Bingham keeps on playing great. I'm like, great, we got 2 great goalies. Makes me think of like hockey and stuff. It's like better to have 2 really good ones, you know, and switch them out, and going back to the competition thing. And if he was the MLS, you know, goalkeeper of the year, that's great, awesome. He's got all those bottles of wine, awesome. But hell, man, if it's not showing up on the pitch for whatever reason within 3 weeks or 3 games, whatever, Bingham come in. And if Bingham falters, Kalina come in.
Play that made me worried though on Bingham, and I'm not sure if it's just because the way the wind was whipping around in there, but I don't know if you guys remember, they had that ball that came over the top or something, and Bingham could have run out and got it, but then he started running back, right?
Yes.
Save, and it was like, wow, you could tell he was stuck in 2 minds there, right? And preferably, I would have preferred him just come out and just booted the ball if he wasn't going to pick it up. But
I think everybody watching was expecting the goalkeeper to come and get it.
Yeah.
Hadn't he not played a live game like in a year and a half or something?
He played in the Open Cup.
Oh, he did? Okay, yeah.
Because
with Bill Tuiloma.
Yeah.
Yes, way to pronunciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On the Kalina note, I was definitely one of the advocates when we were performing well first 6-7 games of the season. I was fully advocating this dude's going to win goalkeeper of the season again. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, we're giving up 21 goals in 6 games. Yeah. So things can change very fast in football. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, they're athletes, but they are people. So they do have things going on in the background, 100%. Lives, kids, families, all that kind of stuff that can sort of affect you. Like you said, it's not just a physical game. A lot of it can be mental. So I say as soon as Kalina gets his head back on straight and we can trust him in the goal, give him the gloves.
Yeah, I mean, again, right? I don't know.
But you're saying Bingham continues to play well?
Yeah.
Then once Kalina is good to go, however that's determined by Dean, then let Kalina come back in?
I think at the end of the day, Kalina is our number 1 goalkeeper. But, you know, every goalkeeper has a bad stretch of form. So, yeah, when he's ready, toss him back in.
Do you just wait until we play at home and then toss him back in so he can get that confidence from the home and not just You know, because I could just see
Yeah, that's a good point, Lee. That's a really
That is a good point. Yeah.
it could make it a lot worse for Kalina, right? If he misses a game or two, right, and we do well, and then Kalina comes in, and God forbid we just get our asses handed to us, it might not even be Kalina's fault, but like,
Yeah.
you know,
I got it. Since we're not going to be home again until July 5th, which they're giving a straw hat away, that should be interesting.
Hmm.
So that, to your point, Lee, like letting him play at home, that's a great, a great reason for doing that. So Dean just kind of quietly tells him, hey, man, you got paternal leave. You know, obviously you got to show up and train and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? And until whatever, June 29th, when he has to really make a decision or whatever it is, closer to July 5th, he's like, you know what? We got this. Unless Bingham totally fucks up. And
Yeah, I was gonna say you wouldn't even give him a chance away if we need it.
if we needed it, yeah, obviously, but
I mean,
just to take the pressure off him, you know, I don't know his personality, but just to be like, hey, don't worry about it. You still got a job. You're coming back, or you're still a starter. I don't know.
that's why we're not the manager. We're gonna let Dino decide when that happens, right? That's you know, I don't know. I just couldn't handle that part of the job, right? It's like, all right, well, you know, obviously we had a bad stretch. We changed players. We're having a good stretch. Stick with it and let that run out. You know, I don't know. Right?
Dance with whoever's dancing well. Not dance with who brought you to the party or whatever the old saying is. It's
Yeah.
like, hell,
The old cliche.
if old girl brought you to the party and she's going to get a drink or to take a pee, whoever's on the dance floor right now that wants to dance, let's dance. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I don't know if I follow that analogy, but yes, I'm with you. Yes, sir.
Who do you trust more? Who do you trust more? The person that brought you to the dance or the person on the dance floor?
The person who brought me because they're my ride.
Oh, okay. That's fair. In these days, anybody can drive you home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Come on, man. Life is so complex these days, Artem, isn't it?
It is.
You got all these choices. Back in the day, just one little phone you could pick up to call somebody. And now Ubers or like what are the driverless cars called? The ones out west. What are they called? Remember? Anyway, they can come pick you up. You don't even need a goalie.
I wish that were true.
Yeah, just play all 11 men out, right?
Yeah.
How to make the outside rule really good.
If you do it like you do when y'all play I say y'all because I've never played it, but the little small goals when people play like 3-on-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make the goal so small
Yeah.
that you don't have to have a goalie in there. But if you're precision enough,
We'll see. So
it's,
Philly, man.
it's the next pickleball, baby.
God, pickleball.
Yeah. Anyways, old man. Right. So you know, Philly's coming up. That's going to be a tough game. They're tough of the East, man. It is going to be interesting. You know, again, I don't think Charlotte's a pushover team. We just sort of, again, like we said, all for this last 45 minutes or whatever, right? It all depends on their confidence.
Confidence, and I think also, somebody mentioned it earlier. Our chemistry is growing as well.
Yeah.
Like you said, bringing in a big name like Willie Zaha, it's definitely going to change it's going to change the locker room first and foremost. So I think the chemistry that Willie Zaha has now with Pep, with Patrick, with Ashley, with the whole team at this point is definitely getting better. I think Toronto was a good example of that. And even before we played Toronto, the 2 assists I think he had last game at home also showed that he's getting his groove. He's finding his groove. And I think that's also going to be very key, especially winning, you know, in Philly.
Yeah. Right. Finding his groove, his confidence is growing. So I guess it's a mixture of both, right? The chemistry is building within the front four, if you will. And then, you know,
CNC, baby. CNC Music Factory.
Charlotte, man. Charlotte's going to Charlotte.
Yes, CNC. Charlotte's going to Charlotte with confidence and, you know, charisma. Yeah, that's it. The main thing this team needs to win on the pitch is to be charismatic.
Yeah.
You need to speak in a certain way and dribble the ball in a certain way.
Somebody asked if we discussed the release date for the third kit. Has that been announced? Do we have a third kit? I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen anything like that yet.
Third kit.
Yeah, somebody was asking about that. Coach was
Oh,
asking.
you mean the for this year's third kid?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about us having a third kid.
It's funny because it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, Lee, about just the team, the staff not being as present or not knowing as much.
Very disconnected from the
It
fans.
does. It does. I think I might have to talk to Woody a little bit. Not at the game, but the idea being that there's the vibe. It's all about the vibe with the kids these days. The vibe is just different, man. It's a disconnect. You know, it really is. No Nick Kelly, no Joe LeBou, no Sean, and even
those guys like Nick and Joe, right? They would be out there. You would see them, right? You know, they probably didn't have much time to talk to us unless it was like an event. But for them at the games, you would still see them just sort of walking around. And
it seems like they're less presence.
Yes, I don't know like that's in charge of it.
You know what it is? It's tariffs. There's some tariff on.
Oh, this is a non-political.
It's a team tariff.
Yes, we don't do politics over here at Fan TV. We just
man, tariffs ain't politics, man. That's economics.
Anyways, yeah. So the only person I see walking around is JT. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 he's lost. So, but yeah. So I guess. But yeah, so if you can, JT, mention that, man. Next time you're in there rubbing elbows with the Charlotte FC like officials, right? That we, because it does. It feels very disconnected. I mean, you know, obviously the supporters groups are doing their thing, right? And I will tell you that last home game though, when they put those smoke bombs under that bridge during that march, it just blacked out that whole thing, man. It was insane.
I remember you telling that to someone we interviewed at the guy playing the drums for Blue Fury.
Yeah,
it
was
like, holy shit, man.
It was insane. Like, and that because normally the wind's kind of blowing, right? So it blows that smoke out, but it was just like just a thick.
It's like, you're telling your kids, all right, hold your breath. Pretend like you're going through a tunnel.
Go low, right? I'm crawling out.
You see the march going in, walking in, and then you see him crawling out on the coming out, dragging a drum.
But no, that was good, and I thought it was good to win again at home, right? But I'd
much rather have a win than a loss.
Yeah, it was a good time for sure. Give us some of those numbers there, JT.
Man, we've talked about a lot of stuff.
Talk too fast.
Sometimes we do. Father's Day game versus Philly. Is it actually? It's on that Sunday, isn't it? It's not on the Saturday.
Saturday, I think.
Is the Saturday the 14th? I guess they say Father's Day weekend, but Father's Day is actually Sunday, right?
Yeah, it's
Father's Day Sunday, but the game, I think, if it's the 14th, that should be Saturday.
It is, 14th is Saturday.
So Father's Day is on Sunday, which is the 15th, and the game's on, because they're just tacking on. All right. Well, who are you going to the game with, Lee, on your Father's Day Eve?
Well, that would be an away game, so nobody.
Yeah, duh, damn it. You so dumb.
Yeah, I'm staying.
So where are you going to watch it, though? They're having a watch party at the team is actually having a watch party. I know all of our friends.
What I'm probably going to do for that Philly game is, and Blue Fear has been reaching out saying, come hang out with us for a watch party for not just this season, but last season too. So I think I owe it to them to go hang out with those boys. Yeah.
And you only tell me this right now on the live show?
Yeah. That was saving
and a half later.
I don't get the invite.
No, you got the invite.
Well, I only get it on the live show. Hey, you know what this is? This is like fighting in front of the kids. Artem, I'm sorry. Mommy and Daddy still love each other.
Yeah.
What? Okay, that's cool. Let's go party.
Yeah, we gotta do that. That's it. What else is going on?
What was it? Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Father's game, no. The schedule rundown, we kick back in on the 5th, but July is like we got 4 home games in July.
Yeah, we have quite a few at home.
Isn't that crazy to be like June?
Well,
get off, and then
it's all because of the Champions Cup.
Yeah, the World Cup club thing or whatever.
Yeah, the Club World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, something from outside the world, but nonetheless, that
Yeah, we got 3 home.
May, we're running the gauntlet. June, we're taking a big rest, a lot of the players, and then July we're home, and here like 4 games out of the whole month. So
Yeah, it's a long season, but I'll be in Chicago at the end of the month, so there's that. I'm looking forward to that. Going to see them play. I think they play at Soldier Field still. But yeah, Chicago's today they announced that they're going to have a supporter-specific stadium, like 22,000 seaters, self-financed, and everything else. It's like, damn it.
So, yeah, 2029, I think, right?
Yeah. So I guess I'll be going up there at some point again just to see that.
It'd be awesome. We were just up in Geodis Park when we played Nashville away. It was something special. Soccer specific stadiums, there's nothing like it.
No, I try to go every year, different stadium, because I like, just so.
This is a very strong point though, because when the MLS started and until whatever 6 years ago, if you were going to start a franchise, the key was to build a soccer specific stadium, because they didn't want, going back to sports entertainment, they didn't want to see a bunch of empty seats from the television point of view, although they see them in certain places still, nonetheless. But then they broke that rule. They're like, hey, you got enough money, we're building whatever. With Atlanta basically kind of broke that rule with their beautiful stadium. And now we have an old stadium, and it's fun when we fill it with 75,000 and all that stuff. And the upper bowl is whatever, 40,000. And then it's 30,000 where we can sit most games. Sometimes it's not as crowded. It is an older stadium. I don't know. I like it that we can go so big, but also my point, Lee, is I think like 6 years from now, or to Artem's point with how long it takes to build it and finance it. So what's it, 2025? Let's say 2030, we at least have a plan for our own one right across from the new Bank of America Stadium. But yeah, I would like our own stadium, but I'm not wishing for it anytime like soon.
Well, from Tepper's point of view, he's like, look, man, I'm not going to build all these damn stadiums for all these different teams, right? Then build one where it has like the retractable pitch where you can go drop down and be a bowl, right, for the NFL. If they could do something like that, that would be it, man.
Bring one that we can use to play on the real grass.
Yeah, and then we could drop it down to fake grass, like for when he has some metallic.
Hey, I got it. Tepper, because he's so has so much money, he can build the most advanced ever multi-use concert football stadium ever by 2032. He could come up with something new, levels, roofs, all sorts of crazy shit people haven't even seen before. Be like
the next Bernabeu.
No, the next White Hart Lane.
Gross.
It's an Arsenal fan.
And y'all always get it in somewhere.
Yeah, but he's an Arsenal fan, and
my point. That's beside the point.
Yeah.
Soccer specific. If you've ever been to a real soccer specific stadium,
there's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it. 30,000 people at the bank. It sounds great, but imagine 30,000 people where the sound doesn't go straight out of the stadium, where we're literally shaking the rafters because of how loud we are. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, we do shake the concrete with the Peppas.
Yeah, we do.
Ain't nothing like a good.
I agree, and that would be more consistent, obviously, to have that energy all throughout the season. However, for the next 7 years, I'm calling it till 2032. For the next 7 years, to not have that, but also have the ability to go 70 plus and really get crazy. I'm going to take that for the next 7 years, and then I want to go to the soccer-specific stadium.
Damn, hopefully I'm still alive then.
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully you are. Jesus.
All right. Yeah, definitely real grass, man. Real grass would be solid.
Real grass, 100%.
If you have a soccer-specific stadium and somehow he puts fake grass in there, that would be fucking bullshit.
Might as well be playing inside the Yankees Stadium.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're getting a stadium too, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so all these other teams are getting it. But yeah, to your point, it is very nice to that's why I like to pick out different stadiums I haven't been to. So like I was hoping we'd do San Diego away this year actually, so I could go to San Diego. But you know, it is what it is. And but yeah, Austin was cool, Cincinnati's cool, Nashville's cool. You know, I've been to some other stadiums. But
Hey, what about? I did like it that on Wednesday night, well, not Wednesday night, Saturday night when the game was, that Metallica was at the same time playing in the bank, which goes back to the point. It's, you know, because I knew Rafi was out there and
yeah,
Marcia.
like people were taking pictures of their phones watching the game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
But also to see whatever it is to us and whatever we'll hopefully have in the future, but to see our place. And one of the reasons we had the fake grass, whatever, the turf, is to lay out the fucking whatever they put over it and have some crazy ass concert there.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
Columbus used to do that too before they got their new stadium. They had the Map Free Stadium. They also had huge Metallica concerts there, and they played on natural grass there. So it's definitely doable. And in Charlotte, I don't think attendance is going to be an issue either. So
I don't know. I will say I've seen the attendance sort of drop this year though. And next year is really going to be key, right? Because that everybody's sort of out of that PSL agreement that they had to purchase, right? So it'll be interesting to see next year for sure. But you know, you can start to tell people showing up later to the games for sure, right? And then you know, sports section, it's been bumping, but you can still kind of tell that outside of where the drums are, it's you know, it's not as crowded as it used to.
Well, that goes back to, you know, what they push.
FOMO.
Push. It's a party, and if there's something else going on downtown, uptown, whatever the
Downtown.
yeah, I call it downtown.
Me too.
Yeah, I know. And you've been here longer than me. And my wife grew up here. We call it downtown. And
Yes,
her
downtown.
family's downtown. Uptown was a marketing invention in 1993.
But there's less letters in uptown than there is downtown, so it's cheaper to make the marketing material. Facts.
Damn, man, you so smart. Anywho, if there's anything else going on, if it's not the scene and not a place to go to, you know, but I would still say, I'm telling you, you know, soccer with kids, no matter how athletically inept you are, that's at least a sport you can come into and your parents can sign you up for rec league, and for 2 seasons from 7 to 9, whatever, you can play. And you might want to go see the game. I see growth in the families and the kids, anything like that. And I think the young adults, the party crowd will fluctuate. I think the hardcore fans will stay there. And then like any other team and any other sports entertainment, when they're doing really well, we get more people. When they aren't, we don't.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is a fair point, right? You know, we do a few bigger tennis games at the larger football stadium and still have a soccer-specific stadium of our own. That's a valid point.
Fair point. That's a great point. Because Tepper will own both of them.
Right.
He's like, all right, well, guess what? We're going to put the pitch over here and they'll have the bigger games where they have to play on turf. So we'll always play on grass in our own dedicated stadium. It's like, hey, boys.
Yeah, but the bigger games will lose because apparently we're allergic to grass the way we've been playing, right?
I don't know.
Anyways, so what do you think of the Philly game? We're going to win that or not? Give me some score predictions.
We're going to draw. We're going to draw because the 8-8-1, I'm not a statistician guy at all, but I was just looking at the table. And I was like, 8-8-1, and no one else at all was even everyone was 4+ for draws this season, you know, no matter where they were on the table. So I'm saying it's a 1-1 draw, and Abada scores the goal.
Abada scores the goal. I think it's a winnable game. How we come out is going to be important. Do I want Charlotte to win? Of course. So I'll be bold and I'll say 2-0 Charlotte. First goal. I'm going to get the first one. Patrick going to get the second one. All in.
Who gets the second one?
Ajimong, Pat. No, you know what? I'll say 2-1. I say we won't get the clean sheet. We'll get the win.
We're going for the win. I think we're going to lose like 3-1. That's what I'm going to say. I hope I'm wrong.
Who was it?
Hey,
Columbus.
well, last time you did it last time we updated. and it's worked out. And whatever. You keep on predicting that we'll lose. That's good.
Oh, thanks, JT. Yeah. So, with that being said, man, do we need to touch on anything else, or are we good?
It's 10 p.m., man.
Yes. Do you know where your children are?
Yes, I do. About
Awesome,
30
man.
that way.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on the show, buddy. I always appreciate your conversations outside
Yes.
the door,
Yeah,
right?
guys.
I'm sorry for cutting you off, but we gotta move people through. And I'm the one who edits all this. So when it's a
I
really
see.
long conversation, I'm like, geez, man.
No, guys, really appreciate you reaching out. Happy to be here anytime I can be. This was awesome.
Just let us know, man. So, with that being said, JT, where can people find us?
All the socials, for the most part, at CLT FC Fan TV, for the fans, by the fans.
Damn it. It's upside down.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Ah!